From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander. On this episode,
an expert helps break down barriers to financial literacy, what the Business Ownership Initiative can do for you, and the next Women Equity Brunch, We Brunch.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
First up, let's get started. The Diversity in Leadership program is dedicated to advancing minorities, veterans, and women in Central Indiana by creating talent pipelines through education, higher education, and industry, with a goal to encourage people to seek and succeed in executive-level positions. The founder, Dr. Leon Jackson, talks about the program's continuing mission.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting started.
My name is Dr. Leon Jackson, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Diversity and Leadership Program. The Diversity and Leadership Program is really aimed at helping the next generation of leaders find their voice, find their unique passion and skills so that they can step into their opportunities to lead in a way that they are prepared and confident and possessing the talent and the skills and the knowledge to be successful. We have a hyper focus on ethnic minorities, women, and veterans, helping them understand their unique place and opportunity within this what we call a hyper turbulent environment that we find ourselves in. The things that we are seeing and experiencing, we're experiencing change at a much higher rate and frequency than ever before. And so how are we helping leaders, the next generation of leaders, be prepared to address those challenges? And we do it through a 7-month program where we've partnered with universities throughout the country. Here in Indiana in particular, we partner with IU, Purdue, Notre Dame, Butler, and the individuals go through this 7-month program, this experience, where they're actually visiting the campuses of each of our partner schools. They're taking classes, 2.5-day kind of sessions with professors from these different universities, where each university has a focus on a particular business segment. So IU teaches a course, Charlotte Westerhouse Renfro, who's amazing, teaches a course on leadership communication. And then we might go to Purdue where they teach a course on leading change and innovation. And then the next month we might be at the University of Notre Dame where they teach a class on finance and accounting, where Gianna Byrne really helps them understand the fundamentals of accounting and finance. And so each individual takes on a project related to his or her scope of work, or maybe even a stretch project that encompasses all of these different aspects, and they're taking the content that they're getting from these courses and they're applying them to this project, and hopefully the individual has an opportunity to demonstrate their capacity to lead, not only to themselves but to their employer and to others, and so as a result, you now have an individual who knows that he or she is good enough, is strong enough, is smart enough to step into these roles with confidence, demanding a salary that they deserve, and stepping into roles that they're qualified for. And then upon completing the program, they're able to go and attend our partner institutions with scholarships, and it really helps them step into the opportunity. The application for the 7th cohort for Indiana will be live today. and the application for Cohort 3 for Ohio will be live in about 2 weeks. The application for the South will be live in about 2 weeks. We'll have the program running in Houston. That'll be live in about 2 weeks, and in Chicago will be live in about 2 weeks. So we're really excited. We're growing, and I couldn't imagine 2 years ago where we are and the impact that we're having. Over 150 people complete the program already, and so just, again, completely humbled and appreciative of the support that I get from my family, from my wife, from the community. Yeah, I think the biggest thing is understanding what you're looking for in leaders, and it all starts with culture, right? What kind of culture do you want ultimately dictates the kind of leader that you need in that space. And so what we do, I think, uniquely do a really good job at is helping the individual meet the expectations of the culture, and in that culture, helping them be successful in that culture. Every culture is very different, and so if I work for an Eli Lilly or Cummins, I mean, both amazing companies, but the culture is very different. And to be successful in one, I might have all it takes to be successful in one, but if I switch to a different one, I may not have what it takes to be successful in that culture. And so helping the individual be prepared for the culture and leading in that particular culture is, I think, one way that we're very different than most programs. And again, me saying you're cool and great or phenomenal at a thing is one thing. But again, to go on and say, you know what, I've been given a scholarship to go to Notre Dame or Purdue or IU or Butler, again, that certainly puts you in a different realm of, okay, this person has unique abilities and skills that maybe we've not tapped into. And what we want to do is give that individual the opportunity to say, hey, imagine if you supported me a little bit more. Or imagine if you gave me a few more opportunities to demonstrate who I could truly be, what I could do for this the company and the community. And in that, we've been able to demonstrate that given the opportunity of the folks who come through our program, if they're given the opportunity, they show up and they show out. And so that's the really cool thing. And there's some amazing other programs out there. Emil Ekior is doing amazing work. Joy Mason is doing phenomenal work. There's lots of leadership programs. Be Nimble is doing phenomenal things in the community. I don't think that any of us are necessarily competing, but these are all programs who add significant value to Indianapolis, especially Indianapolis in particular, because I believe that Indianapolis has everything it takes to be the next major economic engine. We could very easily be any of these booming and bustling cities. What we have to do better is identify talent, grow talent, and retain talent much better. And diversity and leadership just serves as one vehicle, one tool to help us usher in that next, that next generation of leaders that's going to take us above and beyond. I mean, we have some phenomenal leaders in the city currently, and we have to make sure that we're ready for the next 10, 15, 20 years. And it doesn't happen by accident. We have to be intentional in this way. And so how do we identify the talent? How do we grow the talent? How do we prepare the talent to step into some of these roles that are so vital to the city and to the region? And that doesn't happen, again, by accident. We have to be intentional. And I think diversity and leadership is a unique platform and a unique space to help innovate and grow this talent that we so desperately need.
The Indy Chamber has a new leader for the team that's tasked with helping entrepreneurs. David Herron is the executive director of the Business Ownership Initiative, BOI. He has experience in small business lending, grant management, budget maintenance, and more, all which can help you access capital. We talked to him about his new role and how the BOI has become an important community resource.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Access to Capital.
I started off in banking, and I started off with a local bank here in Indianapolis, and I started off as a teller and just kind of worked my way up, and I became a branch manager on the east side of town. And what really got me into where I am now is I was doing small business lending, but I was finding my way into not really being able to get these loans approved, whether it was credit, whether it was just like a newer business. So I was really just kind of seeking other opportunities. So like, where do I refer my client to if I can't necessarily help it myself? So then I found another local nonprofit, which is Intent, Indiana, and then from Intent, Indiana, I ran their small business lending program, and then came over here in October to be executive director of BOI. BOI is a CDFI lender, community development financial institution. We provide capital to small businesses here in Marion County and the surrounding counties as well. And then at the same time, we provide free business coaching as well. I believe it's a really good time just because, as we all know, the way small business goes and grows is the way the country goes and grows. So as long as small business is doing well, the country typically is doing well. So if we can continue to provide access to capital and provide opportunities for small businesses, it makes it to where everybody is really doing well, hopefully anyway, right? A lot of small businesses, and especially minority small businesses, may be lending resistant, whether it's whatever may have happened in the past, whether they've been denied before or they just feel like they're not in a position to move forward. To those people, I say just come and get some information from us, come and get some information from other CDFIs as well, to provide opportunity to kind of see where you are, whether it's the actual pre-lending opportunities or pre-lending side of things, or to be able to get the coaching that we provide as well. And I think if we find out where you are, we can kind of find out where you need to be, or where we can kind of take you from there. I think we talk all the time, like you have to start with even like a bookkeeper before you get to an accountant, or just make sure your paperwork and everything is in order to make sure you're loan ready. And I think once you're able to find out if you're loan ready, then we can kind of put you in the right position to move forward for the actual lending side. In order to be able to be successful, we have to know where we are. We have to know the important things. We have to know how much is coming in, how much is going out. So if you're understanding that part on your personal side, and at the same time being able to kind of teach, I have a daughter myself, so be able to kind of teach my daughter, okay, don't spend the whole amount that you receive on allowance, or don't spend the whole amount that you receive on, even on like, she had a summer job, so I was like, put 10% of that up. So understanding her own finances, so you don't have to come to dad after the fact, after you done spent everything up. So being able to understand your personal finances and translating that into your business finances, but at the same time, make sure you keep those separate, because you don't want to commingle your business and personal, but also being able to know what you have coming in, what you have going out to be successful as a small business owner. What really motivates me is that opportunity, that access, and I think a lot of times where business owners really miss out is just not really able to understand where these opportunities come from. I think we have all been taught to go to your bank, talk to your banker, and then after you leave your banker, just like we talked about before, after you leave your banker, what happens if they give you a yes or a no, you still need to access the capital, you still need those funds to move forward. But if you're able to look beyond what you're used to, look beyond what you've always seen into other CDFIs or other opportunities, I think that's the best way to kind of make sure you still are provided what you need. I always think the opportunities are there. I always think with the information age that we live in, the opportunity to learn more it creates the opportunity for businesses to continue to do well. That's pretty much what I think when it comes to moving forward. You know, the interest rates are what they are now, but let's try to continue to maintain and make sure that we are doing the things that we need to do to move forward. Just understanding their business, understanding ever changing. I think one thing the pandemic really taught us is that you have to be on the swivel all the time. You have to pivot all the time. Those businesses who weren't necessarily ready for the delivery part of things, they were the results of what happened there. One thing about BOI, like I said, to be a part of that, access to capital, we lent over $23 million during the pandemic to over 2,000 businesses, to give them that access to capital to maintain, to learn how to pivot, to do the things, whether it's technology or whether it's hiring staff, to do the things that they need to do to move forward. So, yeah. I think being able to pivot is probably the best lesson or the best advice that I can give.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. The Women's Equity Brunch, or We Brunch, returns March 3rd. The focus, hidden stories of resistance, celebrating unsung women heroes. To learn about the event, we talked to the co-founders of We Brunch Indy, Denisha Posey and Amanda Bonilla.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities, running your business day to day.
Yeah, so it really came out of a conversation that Denisha and I had in the fall of 2021 around our networks and different women that were doing equity work in Central Indiana. And we quickly realized that we didn't have the same network. And so her and I have been in the city for over 10 years in our respective areas and didn't know a lot of the same people. And so we were having conversations about potentially bringing those groups together. And I think our skill sets complement each other really well. And so we said, well, let's bring together women to have a conversation at brunch. And at the same time, we were looking at pay inequity for women. And so the first brunch was really born out of wanting to create space coming out of the pandemic, bringing women together that maybe knew of each other or maybe had followed each other, but didn't really have the space to connect across disciplines, across ages, across different diverse sectors, to have conversations at the intersection of women and equity in Central Indiana. I think you can't really put into words the energy that happens. You see people come together that otherwise wouldn't have known of each other. You see different women starting to find their group, their board of directors or what have you. And after every single brunch, the comments that we get, the interactions that people have with us about the impact, not only for attending the event, but beyond that, I think is probably one of the most powerful things about it. So on March 3rd, we will host our first brunch of the year, and we will be uncovering the hidden stories of women's resilience and just how impactful that women can be behind the scenes. So we have a powerhouse panel of 4 different women coming from 4 extremely different backgrounds. Cindy, who is an immigrant who turned into a very successful entrepreneur. She is the CEO of Pacos Tacos. We have Nazreen, who is a creative scholar. We have Tiffany of Certified My Biz. She is a small business growth expert. And finally, we have Naja, who is the founder of the Afghan American Community Center. And so these 4 women come from, like I said, 4 different backgrounds, but have one thread that we found with all of them. And the work that they've done behind the scenes to break down barriers, promote equality, bring women up in so many different ways is truly inspiring. It's truly a remarkable space, a safe space for women to talk about equity issues and things that affect us at different intersections. And it's an easy sell. The brunches, them in and of itself, starts off with a networking hour where women are just open to talk to each other. And we have all these cute little spaces for women to take pictures. We have a DJ. We have beautiful, mimosas and all the things that women like to do when they go to brunch. And it really sets the stage for a relaxed environment where women, we can just have fun and come together. And then we go into the brunch where we have a buffet, all you can eat at our brunch, sitting at tables in this huge room. We'll have over 200 women at our brunch to sit and listen to this panel of dynamic speakers. The atmosphere that is created from the panel discussion creates more networking opportunities afterwards. And women are lining up to meet our speakers. They're lining up to meet each other. And it's just such an amazing feeling. We do still have some space available. And this year, we were excited to add a table sponsor. So you can get with your girlfriends or get with your coworkers and purchase a table and kind of guarantee that all 8 of you can sit together for the event. The most impactful thing that someone said to me, which reminds me of why we do this work, was that creating that space made them feel brave. And I think that that's what I carry with me as we continue to organize these and put ourselves out there to create this space. Because if we can empower women to just believe in themselves, we can see the magic of that and the community that is created. And so, I mean, we've gotten different opportunities. We've been able to be in different spaces as a result of the brunch as well. So I think it's created open doors for us. But I think the biggest thing is watching women walk away and say, I feel empowered to continue the conversations. I feel empowered to do the thing that I was a little nervous to do because I have this group of cheerleaders that support me, and or I connected with women that maybe I used to see on a stage or on a pedestal that I am just like. And so I too can achieve what they do.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. One additional thing is if you come to the brunch, then you've probably seen a little 9-year-old girl named Naima that attends as well. And she's my daughter, and I bring her to every brunch, and I want her to see the impact of women coming together collectively, regardless of where they come from, their background, and really coming together in a way that lifts all women. And so my 9-year-old gets to see that. Not only does she get to see that, but she provides her own remarks at every brunch. She learns what the topic is. She does her own research, and she says a few words, and it's just so impactful for me as a mom. But then as we think about bringing up the next generation of women, how important that is.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunities show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.